Hello, welcome to Legal Essentials, where we discuss matters arising from the perspectives of the law. Today we are going to be talking about the girl who's been accused of causing the death of 5 young boys. The Edo State Police Command detained a 16-year-old girl, Aisha Suleiman, who's been accused of fatally poisoning her ex-boyfriend, Emmanuel. This poison, sadly, was also ingested by 4 other persons, and this happened in the Afashio community of the Esako West local government area of Edo State. This tragic incident was reported by Mr. Eloji Ezekiel, Emmanuel's father, on the 26th of October 2024 when he arrived his son's apartment by 6:30 a.m. to find lifeless bodies. He found 2 bodies in the sitting room identified as Samuel and Jeffrey Ayaguelo, and 2 lifeless bodies also in the bedroom, which apparently was his son Emmanuel and a certain girl named Ada. Along the corridor also there was another lifeless body identified as Nuruddin. All 5 were immediately rushed to the hospital and were pronounced dead on arrival by the doctor. So what does the law say about poisoning another? But hold up, we're about to get into the nitty-gritties of the law, and it might get or sound confusing, but don't worry, calm down, take a deep breath. I'll be explaining it in the layers term so you understand what I'm saying. So, Section 337 of the Criminal Code Act states, and I quote, "Any person who unlawfully and with intent to injure or annoy another causes any poison or other noxious thing to be administered to or taken by any person and thereby endangers his life or does him some grievous harm is guilty of a felony and is liable to imprisonment for 14 years. So this simply means that if a person gives any harmful substance that would endanger or cause harm to a person, that person, if convicted, is liable to be imprisoned for 14 years. However, let's not forget that the 5 victims are now dead. This invokes Section 306 of the code that states that killing is unlawful. It is unlawful to kill any person except it is excused, justified, or authorized by the law. So Section 308 of the code says, and I quote, "Any person who causes the death of another, directly or indirectly, by any means whatever, is deemed to have killed that other person." This simply means if you do anything that leads to the death of somebody else, now you kill Lamo. That's simply the law. So this means that if Aisha is found guilty upon trial, she will be convicted for murder or manslaughter, depending on the circumstances of the case. Now, we're about to get into Section 319, subsection 1 of the code that states the punishment for murder. It's about to get sensitive, but please stay with me. So Section 319, subsection 1 actually states, and I quote, "Any person who commits the offense of murder shall be sentenced to death." However, there's a clause in Section 319, subsection 2 that states, and I quote, "Where an offender who in the opinion of the court had not attained the age of 17 years at the time the offense was committed has been found guilty of murder, such offender shall not be sentenced to death, but shall be ordered to be detained during the pleasure of the President, and upon such an order being made, the provisions of Part 44, being Section 401 of the Criminal Procedure Act, shall apply." So we are going to talk about the implications, but before then, let's recap. Aisha has been accused of poisoning to death 5 people. Now we're looking at a murder case and a felony case. A murder case is punishable with a death penalty, and the felony is a 14 years imprisonment. However, it has been rumored that she is not up to the age of 17, and so if found guilty, the law states that she should be prosecuted as a juvenile. So before we talk about the defense, it's important to understand that there are 2 key factors that must coexist before a crime can be said to have been committed. There is the physical element and the mental element, right? So in Aisha's defense, the lawyer can decide to say that Aisha lacked the mental element to have committed the state crime. Now, these elements, he could say that intention or motive, mistake, bona fide claim of rights, intoxication, insanity, defense of immaturity, or provocation. So in conclusion, I would advise that we remain law-abiding citizens at all times. Don't try to cause harm to anybody, directly or indirectly. In cases where a person is tried and convicted of murder or similar crimes, the law doesn't take it lightly on such people. You don't want to end up in a Nigerian prison, trust me. It is crazy, and you don't want to be there. So try to be law-abiding at all times, because even though a person eventually comes out of a Nigerian prison, that stench, that stigma of a ex-convict follows the person all the days of their lives. You don't want to miss out on good job opportunities, because most companies don't want to hire ex-convicts. You don't want to miss out on your friends, because obviously when you come out of places like that, your friends would isolate you and excommunicate you. You don't want to be in that situation, right? And then the time you would have used to do lots of good and wonderful things in your life, you'd spend it behind bars. You don't want that for yourself. So let's try as much as possible to abide by the laws of this country so that we can all just move forward. Now, having heard all this, if Aisha is proven juvenile, do you think it would affect her sentence? And also, what are the moral lessons you've learned from this incident? Let us know in the comment section below. Like this video and share it to your friends and family. And also, most importantly, don't forget to subscribe. My name is Sharon. Till next time, ciao.